I'm
Hi.
Roshni.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. How are you liking the event?
Well, it's interesting, the events. You can just see what's the status of art in the technology, and there are a lot of companies here where you can see the latest products changes, and a good opportunity to update your knowledge and business.
The land of innovation, as they say.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Okay, that's great. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background?
Okay, I'm Dr. AbuShaar. I hold a PhD in computer engineering. I have a very long experience in the finance consultations, especially in the core banking and payment systems. I'm working now as a consultant for a finance company, Islamic finance company, where I supervise the digital transformation of this company.
All right, okay. So since you are from a finance background, you of course will be knowing that how closely it relates to blockchain technology and all the problems that it can solve, with financial discrepancies. So what do you think with blockchain? Like, I know you, like all of us here are such big, huge believers of blockchain. So what do you think that like how could the world of finance benefit with blockchain?
Okay. Now in finance company, there are two main factors that controls your implementation of certain feature, security and time. Blockchain can support both. So if you can just take, for example, some applications in trade finance, it will provide very secure implementation of the transactions, and it reduces the time of implementing a certain transaction, doing certain transaction, from 3-4 days, 5 days, up to half an hour. So this means a cost reduction, a very reduction cost, and it will be more convenience for customers who will get the results as soon as possible. So these two main features are important. We can add another important feature, that blockchain is decentralized. That means we are not in need for third authority to control this. I will give you an example. Payments. We have to pay for SWIFT or for SEPA and so on for our transactions. In case of of implementing blockchain, we can a little bit reduce the cost, and we can reduce the time of intervening a third party in this transaction. So blockchain in the finance sector can provide real opportunities. Still, we are looking for ideas. In the current stage, we are looking for ideas. There are some attempts by some banks to make some coalitions and implement some ideas, but I'm expecting within a few years it will be one of the de facto facts in finance sector.
That's lovely. Very great thoughts. So what do you think about, what's your opinion about banks having their own, stable coin? For example, JP Morgan have their own coin to, send it across.
Well, we need to wait and see. There are a lot of main players are entering. For example, Facebook and these things. So again, the success of such a thing is how much countries are able to put the legal controls on these things. So if central banks just set the necessary controls on how to utilize these things, I think these currencies will be so much popular. But again, there is a risk. The currencies, such kind of currency, are not linked to the economic situation. It is a demand and supply. So it's not easy to speculate or just expect what will be the future of the value of such currencies. So this will make it just going up and down seriously, 60–70% up and down, like Bitcoin, for example. No currency goes up for 60 or 80% or 100% in 1 year. So until now, it's some kind of gambling. But I'm thinking that, for example, in UAE, central bank is expecting to have their own currency. So within also, as I told you, within time, I think there will be some kind of acceptance, and there will be some controls set, legal controls set, in order to avoid such kind of fluctuations.
Of course, yes. And what do you think about the regulations? Like, how would regulation play a role?
Again, I'm telling you, regulations will be the main source of success.
Yeah, true.
if there were no regulations, central bank will feel, feel afraid of just going through. So it will put more restrictions. This will not allow the currency to grow. But if central bank just put these regulations, people and banks, finance, which are the source of money, will go further investing their capitals in such currency, which will open the opportunity to grow.
Of course, opportunities to grow, as well as, with regulations, retail public can come in, and that will lead to a mass adoption. That's what I think.
If central bank, which is the source of controlling everything, central bank in all the world, just put some regulations to control the currency, I think there will be a very big future to adopt it. It's easy, it's a global currency. I don't need to depend on dollar or euro and these things. It's a global currency and you can utilize it easily.
Yeah.
So again, this is one. One of the things that may slow down this is the amount of the currency available.
Yeah.
Do you think that this amount of currency will be able to cover the huge amount of trading, international trade? So how we can solve this problem? The owner of the currency, can the countries just accept the idea of not having its own national currency? So these are a lot of things that need to be solved by central banks before just adopting these things as one of the methods for monetary exchange.
Of course, I do think that regulation's on its way. It's just taking its time.
Inshallah.
So
Inshallah.
until it just launches really well.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much.
You are
for
welcome.
your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.